Welcome to my video series called Porn and You. My name is Lyell and I'm a men's health and porn addiction specialist here in Melbourne. Today I'm going to talk about why the impact of pornography has been declared a global health crisis. So hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today. So I got asked recently on a Facebook thread when I mentioned that the impact of pornography has been declared a global and a national, obviously, health crisis. They wanted to know what that meant. What did I mean by that? So I thought I'd do this video to answer that question for everyone, because it actually has been declared now, even though I've been saying it for years, a global health crisis. And it's something that every single one of us has to get behind to change, so that we can change the vibrational frequency of the planet. Okay, so here's why we have this global issue. According to my research, 97% of men are watching porn regularly, and that shows up in my clinic as well. Now, everything more than once a month is deemed regular and an addiction. The psychology profession actually has declared that if you can't go without anything for a whole month, then technically you are addicted to that vice. I also see men who only masturbate once a month and they're only watching porn once in that month, but they cannot masturbate without it. And they've been doing that for 30, 40, 50 years sometimes. So we're looking at the majority of the male population are addicted to pornography. How does that not frighten everyone? Right now, let's talk about erectile dysfunction. 95% of men that come to see me have erectile dysfunction. I would guess around 50% of those clients didn't actually know that they have erectile dysfunction, either due to lack of education around it, or they are watching porn every single time they masturbate, and they've always done that. So they can get it up for porn, but they're not aroused organically, either by a woman or masturbating without porn. Or they can't hold erections during sex, or they ejaculate quickly. So that's a pretty scary statistic, 95% of guys from a woman's point of view, and I know how badly this is affecting men and mental health. Which leads me to this incredible fact around mental health, that the medical profession and the healing profession either doesn't know about this or refuses to acknowledge it. Pornography is the #1 cause of mental health issues. Why? Because it causes brain damage in the frontal lobe, which is a part of the brain, and reduces grey matter in the brain. This brain damage affects sexual behaviours, decision making, focus and concentration, memory, moods, and emotional expression. When 100% of men that are watching porn regularly have brain damage, right? It's kind of obvious why we have such massive issues in mental health for men, and why the suicide rates are so high in men. So porn addiction is exactly the same as a drug addiction in terms of brain damage, in terms of addiction to the neural chemicals, and health and recovery from the hit and crash issues in the body. It means men have no sexual energy. They think they do, but they don't. They are withdrawing from sex and society. They're not present when they're actually having sex with women, and socially they're retreating from dating and love and just looking for a quick fix sexually instead. Now, this is where pornography starts to ripple out into non-sexual issues. The incidences of reported domestic violence and sexual violence has gone through the roof in Australia, especially in young men. We as women are living in an unsafe environment as a general rule, and there are a million more cases that are not reported because of fear or complacency. The teenagers, wow, God, where do I start there? They are all impotent and suicidal before they even leave high school, and they've not even kissed a girl, let alone had sex. They don't even know what impotence is. There's no sex education except for the porn, and they're watching countless hours of hardcore pornography and sexual violence and humiliation. And now we're seeing a massive increase in reports to GPs of young women in their teens having sexual injuries, especially anal injuries. Education of young men is being affected by this. Women and children are being affected by this. Child-on-child sexual abuse has increased by 400% because of pornography, where the children are acting out the sexual acts on each other with no consent, no boundaries, no concept, no context of how intimacy and love works. A quarter of children under the age of 8 have seen pornography by that age. The average age of children that we're seeing now that see pornography for the first time is between 5 and 11 years old. I treat plenty of men that have seen pornography from the age of 5 and who were masturbating before they reached teen years, right? Infidelity is 300% more likely in a relationship because of porn. Due to confidentiality reasons, I cannot comment on what I see and hear in my practice, but let me tell you that this is a massive, massive issue for all relationships. So if you had any doubt in your mind around the impact of pornography, then perhaps now you can see what we're actually dealing with. It's a little bit scary. So I reckon this might be my first TED Talk, so watch this space. Please get in touch if you'd like to talk with me about how this is affecting you or your relationship. And we can work through it together, right? You're not on this alone. I help men clear this out of their lives every single day with my treatments and my programs and coaching by teaching them how to become more sexual, more connected, to receive more pleasure and to connect back into life. My number is 0401 541 571. I hope you have a great day, and that's over and out from me today. See you later.